Hey guys, Brian with Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana. Today we're going to take a really short, brief look at the Cardladder indexes. We're going to look at the overall CL50 index, which is kind of like the the Dow Jones or the S&P 500, and then we're going to look at the basketball specific index. We're going to look at all the different sports indexes and see who's doing what and where is it going. Then we're going to look at the indexes based on high-end cards, and then we're going to take a really close look at the Michael Jordan index and what that index has done not only recently but over the last 2 years, 1 year, 6 months, 3 months, 1 month, and 2 weeks, and then look specifically at some of the Michael Jordan cards over the last quarter, 3 months, which have gone up and which have gone down, and maybe why, and maybe chat. There's really no secret sauce here or revelation at the end of this video. This is just me curious about what the indexes are doing. I haven't even looked yet. We're going to click together, and I jotted down a couple notes. I did look very briefly, but jotted down a couple notes, and we're just going to chat through it and then solicit comments from everybody else to get just kind of your pulse and your comments and input of what you think the market's doing right now. I think I have a pretty good idea of what it's doing, but I'd like to hear what you guys think as well. So I'm going to move you over to picture in picture here. And we've got, the first thing that jumps out is that this is a bloodbath, right? Everything is red except for very few numbers. This number could be black. It's green for some reason. I'm not sure why. But everything's red except wrestling. And that really doesn't mean anything to me because I don't collect wrestling cards. I was never interested in something that's fake. That's not Greco-Roman wrestling. That's actors wearing, tights, oiled up, using steroids and rolling around on a mat. I've never understood it. I've never understood why people like it. Even at age maybe 9 or 10, I figured out it can't possibly be real because people's faces aren't falling off, their teeth aren't flying out, and their heads aren't being severed, even though it looks like they're being, subjected to catastrophic injuries that no one would get up and walk away from. Are they athletic people acting and doing what wrestlers do? Absolutely. Is it fascinating? I guess some people could think so. I just would like to see these guys out on a football field or a baseball field or a basketball field or a track or maybe just lifting weights. But wrestling has never been my treat. But obviously wrestling's going up, so if somebody knows something I don't. If we look at all the indexes for the various sports and entertainment and whatnot, basketball is getting crushed. It's the second worst index recently compared to Pokemon. Only Pokemon is worse. The low end index is down, the mid index is down, and even the high end index is down. So what I want you guys to pay particular attention to is the low, mid, and the high. Those indexes are comprised of all of the various sports put together, but they've been separated into lower valuable cards, mid valuable cards, and then super high end cards. And so for the longest time, maybe for the last 60 to 90 days, when someone would say, man, the market's crashing, the typical response would be, well, the base prism is, and the base select, and the base optic, and the ultra modern are, but RPAs are setting records, and gold prism's setting records, and one of ones are setting records, and vintage is setting records, and this, and all the high end cards are going up because they're low population, and the low end cards are going down because they're high population. Well, that is not necessarily the case. Only a few percentage points, not even a full 2 percentage points, separates high end from low end. So everything is going down, and anybody who says it is not is in denial. Are there cards that are going up and setting records? Of course there are. I've sold a few of them. Are there cards that are getting crushed? I would say most of them are, and I've sold a bunch of those as well. But that just kind of, I wanted to dispel that notion that low-end cards are going down, high-end cards are still going up, up, up. That is not the case. And so it's time for us to accurately reflect on the market and look at numbers that really don't lie. Again, these indexes don't include all the cards on Earth, but they include a large enough sample size to where I can kind of realistically and reliably depend on them in Cardladder. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Basketball down, Pokemon down, the worst. All the other sports down. Wrestling, those actors are doing great. The CL50, let's take a look at the CL50. Let's see where I can pull that up. View more. Here's the CL50. Okay, for those of you who don't know, CL50 is something that Cardladder put together with some of the most iconic cards ever. It's not the most valuable cards ever, so it's not like the 50 most valuable. It does cut across all the sports. Here's just a sample of the 50 cards that are included, which ones are going up, which ones are going down. And as you can see, like I said, the Bill Russell PSA 6 is way up. The Walter Payton PSA 9 is way up. The Pete Rose PSA 8 is way up, right? That's over the last quarter. That's fine. There's going to be cards that are up, right? But that's it right there. Out of the 50 cards, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 cards up. The Babe Ruth PSA 4 is exactly even, and then it's a bunch of red, and some of the red is really bad. In a 3-month period, Jackie's down 22%, Peyton Manning's Topps Chrome down 23%, LeBron's PSA 10 still going down. And so this kind of just gives you and there's your Shaq, right? As a Shaq collector, where'd he go? There he is. There's my Shaq Upper Deck number 1, down 33% in 3 months. That's nuts, man. Kevin Durant down. A Wilt Chamberlain PSA 6 is down 42%, which really gives me an idea. I need to upgrade my Wilt Chamberlain. I have a 4.5. I need to get a PSA 6, especially if it's down, look at your screen, 42% just over the last 3 months. That's bananas. And you can always pull up these individual cards and look at them to make sure the numbers don't lie. There they are. If we look at the last 3 months, there you go. And there's the disparity, right? There's your card. There it is. There's how much it's down, 42.0. If you look over here, 42.0, it's highlighted for you. This can show you a graph. It sold for 13, 11, 93, and then 7,500, and then 7,800. So maybe we've hit the bottom with that Wilt PSA 6. But this is what I like to do when I'm trying to figure out if there's cards, big cards that I wanted to put in my collection. I've always wanted to put in my collection. I don't go look at what the hottest card is. Like, I'm not going to go look at those cards that are green that have gone up 20 and 40% during the last 3 months. I want to grab this Dirk Nowitzki base PSA 10. That's a pop 166 card for an NBA Finals MVP, 1 ring, one of the probably the second or third greatest power forward that ever lived. And we can do a whole video on the greatest power forwards that ever lived. There's only one that's clear cut, and then after that, there's a lot of really good ones with Barkley, Malone, Dirk, KG, and a few others. But there's what Dirk's done, right? Now is when I want to buy Dirk, right? When everybody is scared to death and everybody's running for the hills and people are liquidating. And I think it was maybe it's Warren Buffett that said, buy when others are fearful. But anyway, that's the CL50, and that's just showing you what the CL50's done. If we look at the last 2 years, though, and this is why nobody needs to panic, right? This is a reset. We are in or not in a recession. I'm not an economist. I'm not a politician. I don't use big words and try to act like I understand the macroeconomics of Earth, right? I understand cards pretty well and understand the macro for cards. But as far as like the true, are we in a recession? What is a recession? How is a recession defined? I don't give a damn. All I know is I got to go make money, feed my kids, pay my bills. And if I have some money left over, I buy cards. If I don't, I simply don't. I don't understand real big world picture stuff, and I never really have paid attention to that. But you can see the CL50, those same 50 cards we just looked at over the last 2 years, is up 123%. Over the last year is where it starts to get bad. So we hit our peak, and then it's down 6% over the last year. Over the last 6 months, it's growing. It's going down quicker, down 9.57%. Over the last 3 months, it's going down even quicker, which means it's getting worse. It's down 13.58%, and then over the last month, it's down 10.49%. So the line looks relatively flat, but it's really not. So it started at 19,064, and it's at 17,064. So that's noticeable. That is down 10% in 1 month, in 30 days. That's a pretty significant drop, right? So that's a big deal. Let's back this out. What we came to talk about today is the Jordan Index. So let me show you guys how I do that on Cardladder. Let me get out of here. All right, here we go. So I go down here, I plug in Michael Jordan. It's going to pull up Michael Jordan. There's the index. Now I've got the index. He's got certain cards in the index, but let's look at the general index first, and let's do what we just did. So over the last 2 years, no surprise, Michael Jordan cards are up 194%, right? 194%. And that's just not high end. That's not low end. That's not mid end. That's not just base. That's not just inserts. That's not just parallels. That's not just Panini era. That's not just old. That's not just rookies. It's everything, right? Look how many cards are included in that index. Where are we at? 1,599 different data points. Again, I've said this before on my channel. It's not 1,599 different cards. But if it's the same card in like 7 grades, they count that as 7 cards, right? PSA 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 counts as 7 different grades. So it's 1,599 data points. How many different cards is it? I don't know, but it's a lot, and we can pull them up right here. And so if we look at, which cards have gone up the most in the last quarter, there's still moves to be made out there. People act like the sky is falling and there's no way to make money in cards. That's not true. I'm not going to sit here and toot my horn over and over, but I'm doing fantastic on selling, 2012 base Prism cards that I bought raw, graded with PSA. I'm getting them back right now, and I'm selling them for a really large profit, like 400% profit. A lot of the case, sometimes 500-600% profit. So there are moves to be made out there. I don't, is it as easy as it was where you could buy anything you wanted in 2019 and it was, or 2020 and 2021, it was like immediately worth, 5x? No, it's not like that. You have to choose the right cards and you have to identify the best moves. So it's going to take diligence and research and some hobby knowledge and education, but can it be done? Absolutely. And there's people out there doing it on a much grander scale than I am. So what's interesting on here is look at this, and this is a card that I own. I didn't even know this. I'm just now noticing the BGS 9.5 Nike promo is up. Wow, that's an outlier. So that's something weird here. Somebody did something stupid. There's no way that's correct. So ignore that one. That's very misleading. And that's the reason you got to click on the card and go look. That's not happening. There's no way the last one sold for $3,700 and then somebody bought it for $15,000. So you can ignore that. And that might be the case for some of these. Yeah. I mean, here's another one. This might be realistic though, because it's a pop 52. Those starting lineup cards are big. But I'm getting a little off here. So these are the cards that have gone up the most over the quarter change. I'm looking to build my Michael Jordan collection. So what I like to do is I go inside the Michael Jordan index. Let's go back. We didn't finish this out. So 2 years, the cards are up 194. Over 1 year, the cards are up 15%. So even starting from last May, which was just post bubble, cards, the Michael Jordan cards as a whole that are included in this Cardladder index are up 15%. If we narrow that to 6 months, here's where they start coming down. So we're starting to see an adjustment even on the cards of the greatest player that ever lived and possibly the greatest sports athlete of all time. Down 11% over the last 3 months. So the drop is accelerating over the last 3 months. And then over the last month, still down 7%. Over the last 2 weeks, down 6%. So there is a little bit of a reset going here. And you can see, again, that line is not crazy steep, right? It's definitely not as steep downward as it was steep upward, when we looked at that 2-year graph right there, right? That's a noticeable huge jump during that first quarter of 2021. I didn't even need to put the cursor there. You guys knew that was going to be February, maybe early March 2021 when the Michael Jordan card peaked. But then it came down and then it ran again, believe it or not. So Michael Jordan is just kind of one of those deals. And if you look at it all time, I mean, look, what can we say? I mean, even, before all this insanity ensued in 2020, just go back here. Look at it right there. So that's 4,105 starting from 1,000. So everything up is right there. That's 450% right there, up until 2020, before the crazy run. So Michael Jordan has always been a good, nice, long-term investment. Sometimes it spikes and sometimes it just rises steadily. It will adjust, and we're going through a down period where some of the cards are going down. And I'll be honest with you, that's why I got my eye on them. So going back to the actual constituent cards, these are the cards that have gone up the most. I want to see the cards that have gone down the most, right? These are the cards that I want to put in my collection, possibly, So let's look and see what they are. Some of these are just like kind of low-end cards. We're just going to kind of keep scrolling. A 1997 Topps Chrome, Topps 40 Refractor PSA 8. Not a high pop card, beautiful refractor. I know lots of people out there who have a Michael Jordan PSA 8 collection, which is an incredible way to kind of grow your collection quicker. Look at this card. This is a card that's, significantly down from the last sale. If you look at it over the last quarter, the card got up to $120. The last one sold for $38. Hell, it's $50 to grade a card with PSA right now. So that's a card I'd love to put in my collection. What I normally collect is PSA 10 and BGS 9.5, so we can even further pinpoint what I'm looking for as a collector. and type in PSA 10, and now you're pulling only the PSA 10s that have gone down the most in the last quarter, right? The last 90 days. And look, no surprise here, I've got this card already, so I can't buy it, and I've got this one as well, so I can't buy it. But the PSA 10, Topps Chrome base here is down 50% in value over the last 3 months. And so you always want to click it and you want to look at the graph to see if it's a trend or if it's just a one-off. And it might be a one-off. Let's see what's on here. It's not a one-off. Okay, let's look at it. There you go. Let's go to 6 months. Cards down 40% over 6 months. 900, 1,000, 1,300, 859, and then it's a little seesaw, and then the last one down here to 564. That to me looks like a trend. If you could pick this card up for 564, knowing that it once hit $4,850. It hit over 3,000, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. It's only a pop 120 in PSA 10 condition. If you can find a non-yellowing, I should say non-greening version of that PSA 10 Topps Chrome, that might be a good buy. Like I said, I have these two already, so while they are an attractive buy, and I like to buy cards that have just run down, especially for Michael Jordan, because I don't think there's any such thing as a Michael Jordan PSA 10 insert card that's going to run down for very long, right? Once it goes down, people like me have the exact same idea. I'm not showing you anything that's super novel. There's other people in the hobby who are looking and using data pricing tools, just like Cardladder, just like I'm doing on this video, who will look for these cards. Emotion, PSA 10. I'm gonna try to find one I don't have. The Topps Gold Label PSA 10, I do not have that card. I need to put that card in my collection. I have 3 PSA 9s, I think. It's a pop 151. That's not a hot pop card, and it's not a typical Jordan base card. I mean, that is an absolutely gorgeous card from a really sought after product from the late 90s, Jordan's last playing year, and it's a Bulls playing year, and it's a 1990 Topps Gold Label. It is a base card, but again, it's pop 151, and it ain't like there's too many being added to the pop report. 24 over the last 12 months, so about 2 a month. But look at that chart, right? And so look where this card got to. Is that normal and sustainable? Probably not. But if we look at the chart all time, it's going to look like every other one. Look where it started. And then if you can kind of draw a line straight from 2018 to today, in 2018, the card was $40, guys. Today, it's $250. I don't know what else you can expect. That's 8x, right? That's 6x. About a little bit more. So 6 times your value from 2018 to now. I mean, what other investment vehicle in the world has done that? Oops, I did not mean to do that. So let's back out of that one. Let's go back and look at some more cards. Like I said, I like to look at the PSA 10s, and so I always sort by PSA 10s. And then once I go through the PSA 10s and I've kind of exhausted that, and we're looking at the cards that have gone down the most, I'll go through here. And Competitive Advantage is another great one. I've got a BGS 9.5, so I'm not really looking to convert that to a 10. But I don't have the 87 Fleer sticker in PSA 10. I mean, that's an expensive one, so that's probably not a great example for most people. Let's find some more PSA 10s down here. Upper Deck Phantomation. That's a card that's been on a crazy ride. Thank God I didn't pick it up when it was exploding like that, even though I sort of wanted to. Look at the last 3 months. That's not an aberration. That is a trend. It's a pop 298 card. I tried to grade a few of these with that collection that I bought, and I got a 9, I believe. But the card's back at 390, and the card's been as high as 700 right there. Even in the last year, the card got as high as $810. So that's a card. Now is a great time to put a card like that in your collection. What else is in here? The Panini foil sticker. That is a really rare card in PSA 10. Look at that. It's a pop 51. For those of you not familiar, that's a picture of the card. These cards are often really miscut. They're little. They barely fit in the slab. It's got to be a special size slab, whatever. But that's the 1992 Panini foil Jordan sticker. It's a pop 51 in PSA 10. Look at it over the last year. Now might be a great time to buy if you can get one for around $1,500, something like that. That's a great buy right now. And the beautiful thing with Cardladder is if I wanted to look for this exact card, I just click that button and look, there it is. Well, of course, that's not going to work, and that's not going to work, and that's all there is because it's a very rare card. So don't expect to strike gold every time. But Cardladder provides that buy it now on eBay feature. The legacies. Let's see if there's a legacies out there. This card. Let's look at them. Okay, the chart's there. It's cards going down. 1890. Just a couple of months ago, the card sold for $34.80. It's only a pop 38 card. Let's buy one on eBay. We're probably not going to find one. There's one right there. A quality seller, 100% feedback, 116 transactions, not a ton, but still not bad. The card's PSA 10. If I was interested in picking up this Legacies and I wanted to make sure I bought it under comps, we go back to our chart. We see here the last one sold for $18.90. I can go to buy it now on eBay. I'm not going to win it, but I'm going to put in here, just so you guys know, here's my bid amount. I'm going to put in $1,000. If I win that card for $1,000, then so be it. Boom. I've bid on it. I'm already outbid. We know the card's going to run. But is it a card worth looking at? Can we get the card for, $1,500, $1,600? Can this trend continue? Maybe we don't exactly hit the bottom, but we're making a very educated guess on a card that only recently has gone down. But if we look at it historically, it has gone way up, right? And so this may be that buying window that everybody who's always said Jordan's too expensive, all these people that have said Jordan's just too expensive, maybe this is that buying window you've finally been waiting for, where you can go out and snatch the cards. I'm not telling you to buy. I'm not telling you to sell. I'm certainly not telling you to sell. And I'm not telling you what to buy. I'm just telling you how I analyze the Cardladder index and how I think it's a super helpful tool to sort of step back, take a look. Let's go find the cards that we know are quality cards. Like Fleer Team Leader, that's a big card. That's always going to be a big Jordan insert card. That's never going to change. That card's been a big card for a very long time. It's always going to be a big card. It's going to continue to go up over the long haul. If you're a 6-month flipper, are you going to be able to flip it for a great investment? No, probably not. But if you're willing to hold it for 5 years, I would bet a great deal of money that Fleer Team Leader PSA 10 card, 6 years from now, 5 years from now, is going to be worth significantly more than it is today. Again, I'm banking on the hobby. I'm banking on fanatics. I'm banking on pulling out of this recession. I'm banking on people having more disposable income, things like that. So I'm a believer in the hobby. I always end every video with stay positive. So I've always got an optimistic outlook, and we've got, 30, 40 years of collecting Michael Jordan cards, at our back that we can stand upon as a foundation of Michael Jordan cards going up. And there's going to be aberrations. There's going to be resets. There's going to be recovery periods like we're going through now, but it is not the end of the world. And I do not think we're going to return to, pre-2018 prices on any Michael Jordan cards. I think those days are over. I think those cards, those prices are long gone and never going to be seen again. But I think we're in a great opportunity and a great period where I myself, if I can scrounge up some damn money, I've been making some sales and trying to consolidate, I'm going to put more money into Michael Jordan inserts and parallels from the 90s. You have my word. You know what I do and how I do it. And I share all my mail days with you. So you will see what I'm doing over the next 90 days during this, what I perceive to be a great buy period. Anyway, that's it. I just wanted to show you guys these indexes and how I use them as an investment tool to give me a little bit more education and perhaps a little bit of a competitive advantage over just scrolling through eBay and just kind of clicking on cards that seem low. I can actually look and see what's going on. So anyway, those are just my thoughts on that. Not much more to it. Thank you guys for watching. Keep collecting. Stay positive in the hobby. And peace.